Hello everyone. I am Riddhi Saxena studying in class 11th F is here to present a brief sketch on the topic the introduction of industrial revolution influencing the life of workers. The topics we are going to cover in this presentation are the beginning of the industrial revolution, England, the birthplace of industrial revolution, impact of steam engine, transportation and communication during the industrial revolution, second industrial revolution, working condition of workers, inventions, and resource books. The beginning of the Industrial Revolution. The revolution marked the development in the half of 18th century that transformed largely rural agrarian societies in Europe and America. Goods that have been once painstakingly crafted by hand started to be produced in mass quantities by machines in factories. The revolution began in Britain and spread to the rest of the world, including the United States, by the 1830s and 40s. England, the birthplace of industrial revolution. Starting in the mid 18th century, innovations like the flying shuttle, the spinning jenny, the water frame, and the power loom made weaving cloth, spinning yarn, and thread much easier. It also decreased the human labor. Chief among those techniques was the smelting of iron ore with seek instead of traditional charcoal. This method was both cheaper and produced higher quality material, enabling Britain's iron steel production to expand in response to demand created by the Napoleonic Wars and the later growth of the railroad industry. Impact of steam engine in the revolution. An icon of the industrial revolution broke onto the scenes in the early 1700s when Thomas Newcomen designed the prototype for the first modern steam engine called the atmospheric steam engine. Newcomen's invention was originally applied to power the machines used to pump water out of the mine shafts. Later, James Watt collaborated with Matthew Boulton to invent a steam engine with rotatory motion. Steam engine used coal, so its miners need to go deeper to extract more of this relatively cheap energy source. The demand of coal skyrocketed throughout the Industrial Revolution. Transportation and communication during the revolution. After the substantial improvements and more than 2,000 miles of canals were used across Britain by 1815. In 1830, similar locomotives started between transporting freight between the industrial hub of Manchester and Liverpool. In 1837, British inventors William Cooke and Charles Wheatstone patented the first commercial telegraph system. The Scottish social philosopher Adam Smith, also regarded a founder of modern economics, he published The Wealth of Nations, which promoted an economic system based on free enterprise, the private ownership of means of production, and lack of government interference. The Second Industrial Revolution. The Second Industrial Revolution marked by the end of 19th century. With the so-called Second Industrial Revolution underway, the United States would also transition from a largely agrarian society to an increasingly urbanized one, with all the attendant problems. By the mid 19th century, industrialization was well established throughout the western parts of Europe and America's northeastern region. By the 20th century, the US had become the world's leading industrial nation. Also, on the other hand, the move to cities and inventions that made clothing, communication, and transportation more affordable and accessible to the masses changed the course of the world history. Regardless of these questions, the Industrial Revolution had a transformative economic, social, and cultural impact. It also played an integral role in laying the foundation for modern society. Let's talk about the working condition of workers. Though many people in Britain had begun moving to the cities from rural areas before the Industrial Revolution, this process accelerated dramatically with industrialization as the rise of large factories turned smaller towns into major cities over the span of decades. This rapid urbanization brought significant challenges as overcrowded cities suffered from pollution, inadequate sanitation, and a lack of clean drinking water. Meanwhile, even as industrialization increased, economic output overall and improved the standard of living for the middle and upper classes. Poor and working class people continued to struggle. The mechanism of labor created by technological innovation had made working in factories increasingly tedious, and many workers were forced to work for long hours for pitiful low wages. This also fueled opposition to industrialization. Invention during the revolution were James Watt's invention of steam engine in the year of 1712. James Hargreaves invents the spinning jenny in 1764. The invention of telegraph in 1844. Swing machine in 1846. Safety brake in 1853. Bessemer method of processing steel was founded in the year of 1855. Alfred Nobel invents dynamite in the year of 1866. Louis Pasteur discovers vaccine in 1870. Thomas Edison creates the light bulb in the year of 1879. The Wright brothers invented the first plane in the year of 1903. And Henry Ford invents the first car in the year 1908. The resource books which I use and I refer you to are The Industrial Revolution, a very short introduction by Robert C. Allen. The Cotton Manufacture in Great Britain by Howard Benner. The Most Powerful Idea in the World by William Rosen. So, thank you everyone for listening me. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe.